Is camera working? What's up, guys? Follow Joseph here. I know I've been recording this channel for about almost a year now, but I just want to give you guys an update of my Meps experience. Now, if you guys don't know what Meps is, it's pretty much the physicals that you do before you enter into the military. My branch of choice is the Marine Corps. And I want to tell you guys my experience for those who are interested in the military or Marines, whatever branch, of how Meps goes, and also my process of getting a waiver for at least one disqualification and bogging down the second disqualification, which is bogus, which I'll go in more depth later on in the video. So, what did I do before Meps? So obviously you contact the recruiter, you fill out some paperwork, probably 20, 30 something sheets. And before you go, in the Marine Corps, they had us read a sign that pretty much says, if you say anything for fraudulent enlistment, you can get a $10,000 fine. Then afterwards, we went over the sheet. We made sure that I got everything documented to the recruiters for the one last time before I head to Meps. Then once we got everything set, my recruiter pretty much drove me from the recruiting station to the hotel that we're going to stay overnight. Because Meps takes 2 days long, so we were just driving. And later, he was just giving me advice and everything. He was just motivating me. He brought me on the up. He brought me some down. He brought me up. It's like a roller coaster. Then once we arrived to the hotel, since, COVID-19 is a little bit different, we were actually lucky enough to get our own rooms. But yeah, so once we arrived at the hotel, we were all lined up. One person behind another, 6 feet apart. And we were all just doing a COVID-19 screen thing at the hotel. Then once we got screened, we literally sat at a table 6 feet apart from each other's. We all had to have masks on at that time. This is May 2020 when COVID-19 was still a thing. I don't know when this thing might end. This might be looked on from years upon. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so we were sitting over there face to face. We were filling some paper out. We were having our dinner signed. Then afterwards, he would call us. I don't know, it was like one of the medical personnel. He was calling us one by one. Once we get up, he asked me for my name, my branch of service, and he pretty much gave me a room card. And then afterwards, since the lodge and the pool was closed, advice for you guys, even years in advance, don't go to the pools. It's not worth it. You're gonna fuck up on your hearing test. I'm just telling you that right now. But yeah, the lodge is closed, which you pretty much play games and stuff like that before you go to sleep and wake up the next day. So yeah, since we couldn't do that, we pretty much stayed in our hotel rooms. I tried to turn on the TV, I only heard audio and the TV wasn't working. What's wrong with you, Meps? So yeah, we did that. Then afterwards, what we pretty much did is we got our dinners delivered. I know personally for me, I knocked out a couple burpees, push-ups. Oh no, I was hella bored being stuck in my room. And I pretty much just had a conference call with my fellow police explorers and police cadets. Shout out to any of you guys that are watching. Then afterwards, we had the conference call. I decided to sleep at 7:30 p.m., which is probably the earliest time I've slept in probably a few years. Because I know Meps, you're going to wake up hella early. They're going to wake your ass up at 3:30. No, they wake you up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I just decided to wake up 3:30, get some extra things done and stuff like that. And later, once they wake you up in the hotel, by 4:15, we all left. And we went down, we got our breakfast. They gave us bacon, eggs, and later sliced tater tots. It was pretty decent. Then afterwards at, I like to say 4:45, we got out of our hotels for one last time, get our bag, get our paperwork. Then once we got our paperwork set, we were all lined up. They told the guys that are shipping to head out first, and they got bussed out. Then for the other guys, that are doing the physicals, including me. We got busted out secondly. Then afterwards, we had to wait outside the Meps building in a long line to pretty much fill out a screening application, to review everything, to take temperature. Once you go in, you pretty much throw your bag in a shelf. You give your phone to the liaison manager, which my liaison was the Marine Corps. We stood there. He confirmed some of the paperwork. Then afterwards, what we did is we stand up in lines in the lobby, and we pretty much did a finger test. We got a biometrics. We got a finger taken. It was both of my index fingers personally, but we got a picture taken. We got fingerprinted. And pretty much that's our identification throughout the whole Meps experience. Then afterwards, what they made us do is they pretty much, let's see the order. So they started doing a medical briefing. They pretty much say what's gonna happen, all the hearing tests and blood tests and all that stuff. So we did all that stuff. We did the hearing test. We did the blood test, which for me, apparently, I thought it was gonna be a bitch when the needle got inserted, but apparently I felt the needle going inside my vein, but once that thing was in, I felt nothing. I didn't even feel blood being drawn out. It was crazy. Then afterwards, I did the hearing test, which we pretty much were in a little room. They closed the curtains, and later that, I had my little headphones. Every time I hear a click, no matter how faint it was, I was directed to just click the button if I hear something. Beep. Then once we completed that, we pretty much just waited in the lobby. We did some visual tests. One time I had to stick my head in like a visor or something and pretty much just read the little letters as far as I can. Then once I did that vision test, I pretty much got my blood pressure tested and stuff like that. Then this is the fun part. You're pretty much in a lobby for like a few hours until the doctors pretty much have an interview with you and a personal talk with you before you can do anything. So what the doctors do is they pick people one by one, and later by then they'll ask you some screening questions. They'll make you take off your shirt, your pants. They'll see if your mobility is pretty good, and heck, they'll tell you to drop your undies, and you get the nut check. You know what I mean? That's just part of the process. So that's what they did to me. They also look at the back, the butt cheeks. They tell you to pretty much spread your buttocks so they can observe your anal cavity, see if there's nothing messed up about it. Then afterwards, once they're done with that, you pretty much have lunch at like 11 something. So some of you guys might have to interview right before lunch or afterwards. It just depends when you got picked out through the waiting process. But we had lunch. It was pretty good. I got a turkey sandwich with whole wheat bread. I got a little bit of some trail mix from the USO area, because in there it's like a USO cafeteria. Then what they also made us do is pretty much do the orthopedics. Now the orthopedics is pretty fun. So what they had is they have up to like, it depends. My group was like 5 people, but it goes up to eight male or females, depending on which gender or which genitalia you're born with. So what we did is we did some stupid exercises. Let me get up and demonstrate some. Good ass. Y'all didn't hear jack shit. They made us do this. We look up in the ceiling. We want you to do this. And then afterwards, they made us do the infamous duck walks, where you pretty much squat down and you go heel, toe, shift weight. You guys probably won't pick that up on camera. But yeah, then afterwards, they'll make you do some more stupid exercises, rolling back. Or they'll make you turn behind, put your chin to your chest, and stretch to your toes and slowly get up. Like this. To make sure you don't have scoliosis. Then after you guys are done, you guys pretty much swear in if you don't have anything, any disqualifiers. For me, I had a disqualifier. I know I had one going in because I had surgery when I was 1 year old and stuff like that. And pretty much, since I don't have any documents of it, they disqualify me. I'm waiting for a waiver on that. The other thing they disqualify me on is jackasses. I was pissed off at that moment. I'm just laughing it off. So, apparently because I was born in Chandler, AZ, you know, it was on the top, right? Apparently I don't sound like I'm from AZ. So they're like, come on, man, you're dropping your R's. You must have some speech impediment disorder, right? And they're asking me all these questions. Have you been told that you speak differently? I was like, no, sir. Have you been suggested to go to a speech therapy course? No, sir. Pretty much just saw no, sirs, and you had to diagnose me with one. These jackasses literally are trying to diagnose me with a speech disorder. They literally give me a freaking paragraph to read. And I'm like, okay, the little lamb was riding a nice little car around with his Lambo. And I was like, reading this whole freaking paragraph. And later I had to go back in the lobby, wait like a minute or two, call me back in, and they're like, apparently we're going to disqualify you for a speech disorder because you won't be transmitting anything clearly on the radio. And I was like, oh, man, another one. I didn't show my disappointment. I kept my bearing, but since I'm over with the physical, I'm pretty much just pissed off that I got that disqualified. I'm just waiting to get that docked down and just worry about getting the first one, which I initially disclosed to my recruiter waived for. So afterwards, I got back from Meps station to the recruiter's office. From there, I pretty much had to fill out the paperwork and get the waiver part processed. Pretty much, I had a letter, pretty much pulling the heartstrings, making them feel sorry about disqualifying me. Tell them how this freaking surgery doesn't affect me, how I didn't have any communication disorders throughout my 12 years of high school, and all that good stuff. And now, it's May 2020, I'm just waiting for my waiver to accept it. So hopefully I can record another video saying that I got approved. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to call up my representative and see what they can do to me. Because you can also do that as a last resort. But I hope they'll approve my waiver. I'm just begging, because I've been dreaming about this ever since I was 6 years old. But I've been dedicated to it for at least 2 years. So just hope it gets accepted. Just praying to God. Putting everything in God's hand. But yeah, so afterwards I finished the letters and stuff like that. Whatever I needed done. All the questions I had to fill out for the waiver process. My gunnery sergeant, he literally recorded a 15-second clip of me just to get a soundbite of me to prove that I can communicate effectively and stuff like that. And that I don't have a speech disorder that will affect me in the field. And it shouldn't be something that the doctor should technically disqualify me for. Anyways, other than that, I'm still happy that I passed the physical part. I'm kind of bummed down that I got DQ'd from pretty much swearing in until I get waived. I just hope the waiver gets approved. It's pretty much just a waiting game from now. And for any of you guys that are pending waivers or still wanting to be a Marine or any branch of service, don't give up on yourself, guys. Don't give up. Pull every single heartstring that you got. Man up. I know me, college life isn't for me, so I'm just gonna keep going on. I'm gonna keep just dragging my ass until I can earn that title of United States Marine. I'm not gonna quit on myself. Once I earn the United States Marine title, I'm planning on being a police officer one day. Plan on doing everything, man. Going miles. Sometimes you just gotta take small steps in the way. Sometimes you gotta be patient. But once you get all these small steps accounted for in the long run, you'll probably go miles. I'll just tell you that. Never quit, guys. Have a good day. Hopefully this brings some motivation. Send your prayers up to your boy so I can get my waiver approved. Because I'm healthy. I can work out. I'm mentally fit. I'm spiritually fit. And I'm just waiting on those waivers. Have a good day, firewalls. And